Alright, next up we have rootbie playing as the blue nod against BlackTemplarGaming playing as the gold GDI. Playing a map out on Monkey in the middle. So Black Templar is spawning on the top left, rootbie spawning on the bottom right. Black Templar going for a Conyard move, rootbie going with the insta deploy. Should be interesting. Moving here will allow Black Templar to crawl out of here a little bit easier. Interesting that he's opting to crawl immediately backwards. I tend to keep the Conyard back here, because if you're going to just build backwards, why not just deploy here, save some time, and put the power plant here. It's all good. rootbie meanwhile has gone for a bit non-traditional opener. Power plant into ref before his first racks. He's actually gone 2 ref before his first racks. This is super greedy, a rootbie. This can be dangerous if your opponent's coming in early, especially against GDI. If they've got a lot of Grens on top of you here very soon, and you've got no infantry early to prevent scouting or anti-harassment, it can bite you in the ass. So interesting move by rootbie. Hopefully the eco advantage will benefit him. So we see Black Templar on 2 ref, as now we see rootbie on 3 ref. Not quite sure what this refinery is about. Generally speaking, players would have 1 ref here for this field, and then use the hand and nod here and get the a 3rd ref here. But rootbie seems a little bit shaken up with his placement here. And of course, Black Templar also getting the scout off. Meanwhile, rootbie is getting a couple of units through. He might get the Conyard scout. We see BlackTemplarGaming has gone for 3 ref in a row here. Again, pretty unusual. You tend to maybe segment 2 of these out with a power plant or a hand of racks. But he's up to 4 ref. And using a racks here to enable him to crawl in this direction too. Yeah, and rootbie's going to get the vision of the Conyard here. Or just go for the power again. Would always recommend getting vision of this first and then getting the power plant. So we've seen the strip coming down here from rootbie. He's had to sell the refinery he placed here earlier. So now you can see that his Harvey eye is totally messed up. As a result of this, Black Templar might lose the power plant here. And he does! Oof, that's big for rootbie. That'll slow down Black Templar's production no end. Especially because he's most likely halfway through a war factory now. He's not going to be in a position to really want to cancel it. He gets it down. There it is. So he's up to 4 ref, war factory. Currently versus 2 ref, 3 harvesters. And we're seeing a couple of buggies coming along here for rootbie. A bit of ground pressure from the top right from Blackie as well. Putting a forward racks, always a good tool for GDI to fend off this kind of pressure. Gets the power plant. It's pretty nice. It's going to pull his buggies back. We can see that rootbie's going for mass buggies here. Interesting, he opted for his 4th ref. And technically now his 3rd, all the way up here. It's not a great positioning for the refinery. Primarily because this tib field is crap and you'll mine out of this. Usually players will get the ref here much earlier, so it's not super practical. A couple of buggies up along the top for some pressure, but we see a little bit of an exchange here. Medium tanks can do really well against these buggies. There's no rocket bikes on the field. They're going to just skim on past. Looks like rootbie's going to go for the war factory snipe. No, he's opting to pull back to clear the Grens first. Now he's going to pull in. War factories, of course, having terrible HP and armor, so if he plays his cards right, rootbie's going to be able to snipe this here. Is he going to get it? And he forces the sell. Managed to get a tank out though. It's pretty good. And Blackie went for comm center at this point. Interesting choice. So he went 4 ref, war factory, into the comm center. Comm center enables GDI, of course, to have AGTs. Lost the ref here because of a couple of Grens. It's a pretty big deal. Down to 2 ref now. You can see bikes starting to come out from rootbie, but he's eco locked heavily. We can see a rebuild of the refinery here. I think from the get-go this has been a rough game for rootbie, just in terms of having the 3 refs here, selling 1, and then potentially misbuilding this direction. I don't really think this would be deliberate. rootbie's played quite a lot of games at this stage. Manages to get the Conyard, and at this point it's GG. Black Templar's going to get it. This is the only production building of any concern to Blackie at this point, and he's just taking it out. As you can see, even if there were 3 refineries here, this field already being mined out is kind of an indication of the impacts of that, right? And of course the harvester glitching away. But yeah, meanwhile a bunch of grounds being built back here. Just massing infantry. If he wants, he can build an AGT here. No need for it though. He's got plenty of grounds. Take out the last, second last production building. Take this one out. It's another reason why this little spawn area is kind of awkward when you put a racks here as part of your crawl. It's very difficult to get out of the starting area, but most players will do a racks here or a hand and nod. The disadvantage, of course, being that if grounds are on top of you, you have to go all the way around to deal with them. But yeah. Rootbie, try and use his harv here to crush a few grounds, see if he can potentially crawl back, but at this point he's so far behind, only having one ref, one hand and nod, this game is over. Well played, Blackie. Interesting crawl. The Conjure moved to here, get the one ref back here, the 3 in the line here, and then crawling all the way down. This is useful, I guess, for players who haven't seen this before. In terms of people who tend to get confused, okay, I've crawled to here, what next? You can potentially crawl down here, or you can opt to crawl around this way. Plenty of options. It looks like he didn't primary his racks down here, and he's massing grounds back here, something to be aware of, but yeah, GG's. Well played, Blackie. Well played.